7 rockets fired from the Gaza Strip towards Jerusalem, just as Israel was marking the day in which the city was unified in the Six-Day War. It marked the beginning of a new military campaign between Israel and the Palestinian factions in Gaza, headed by Hamas. The military campaign did not catch anyone by surprise. It followed weeks of escalating violence. The IDF was clearly ready for anything coming from the Gaza Strip, including the barrage of rockets fired from Gaza towards Israeli towns and cities. The Iron Dome intercepted the vast majority of rockets headed towards populated areas. Despite the very high number of rockets fired, more than 4,000 in 11 days of fighting, the number of casualties on the Israeli side was low. The army was also well prepared for any surprise Hamas was planning on the border. Not a single infiltration into Israeli territory was recorded, despite various attempts, and only one Israeli soldier was killed in cross-border fire throughout the entire operation. Israel may have been successful along the Gaza border, but was caught completely off guard in other arenas, most notably within its own borders.
We had a nightmare of a night, a real riot by hundreds of Arab youth. They came in masses, torched car after car, trash bins, broke windows. It was very dangerous.
The protests in the Arab sector in Israel began even before the operation got underway, but intensified and became much more violent as the fighting in Gaza was raging. The mixed cities, where Jews and Arabs lived together in a fragile coexistence, became violent battlegrounds.
Some 100 Arabs came to me and asked if I'm a Jew or an Arab. I told them that I am Arab, but they heard my accent was not Arab and they ran towards my car and started throwing stones. I was lucky there were no cars behind, so I was able to drive away. I drove full gas in reverse.
Only after massive mobilization of police forces did the clashes in the mixed cities and along the roads in areas with Arab presence calm down. Hamas proved it has the ability to mobilize parts of the Israeli Arab community in any future conflict, and this was not the only arena that was active outside of the Gaza border. A few rockets fired from Lebanon landed in northern Israel. There were no casualties or damage, but the message was clear. A military campaign with Hamas is no longer based around Gaza. Operation Guardian of the Walls once again proved the Israeli military superiority, but also showed that Hamas is progressing and has the ability to challenge Israel in various ways. The next campaign will eventually come, sooner or later, and all this will once again be put to the test.